Hey everyone, it's Dusty Go-Goat. Welcome back to my headcanon. It has been confirmed that Pokemon Legends Arceus will include new regional variants for this old ancestral Sinnoh region. This old Sinnoh region is known as Hisui. This is a concept that's been around since Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think fans will agree that this is one of the best new features from new Pokemon. We've got Alolan forms, we've got Galarian forms. Will we get Sinnoh forms in BDSP? Who knows? But without a doubt, we are getting Hisuian forms in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let's review some of the Pokemon that I definitely think should get Hisuian forms in Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. This is the #1 place for Pokemon rumors, speculation, and celebration. So my first burning question is, are we gonna get a blue Basculegion? In the trailer, all we saw was the red form. Basculin has the red and the blue forms, and all we saw in the trailer was a red Basculegion. There's a possibility that the blue form will evolve into something completely different. Another possibility is that the only Basculin available in the Hisui region is the red Basculin, thus only having a red Basculegion. So this is some art that I found. I love Electabuzz. It wasn't until Diamond and Pearl that Electabuzz got its first evolution in Electivire. It's still, to this day, one of my favorite Pokemon. This design has Electabuzz evolving into, I think it's pronounced Ridobuzz. It's an electric fighting type, which I think a lot of people speculated, Electivire should get a mega form that introduces its electric fighting type, because it is very physical. I think it learns close combat, but it learns a ton of punching moves. Electabuzz has always been a really punchy Pokemon. Thunder Punch was Electabuzz's signature move back in Generation 1. I love this concept. It almost looks like a dark type. This design emphasizes a lot of the Oni inspiration that is in the Electabuzz design. And another Hisuian form that I saw online is this Ice and Fire type Mankey line. So it's like Mankey is an ice type. To stay warm, it hangs out in the hot springs. So it's an ice type that can withstand fire type levels of heat. Really enraged. So you see the snow on the Mankey is melting from the heat of the hot spring, but then when it evolves, when it gets enraged, the body temperature rises, so the snow on the Primate melts because he's so enraged. This is a design concept that I actually also saw in a 4chan rumor about about Pokemon Legends Arceus. Does this have credibility? I mean, this is just an artist render, but could this be something that we see in Pokemon Legends Arceus? I really hope so. I love this design. Up next, we have this water psychic type Wooper and Quagsire design. I love this. So instead of digging around in the mud, so this Pokemon is naturally blind, and because of that, it learns to use its other senses, developing the psychic type. And because of that, it's like a fish that's floating out of water. The artist writes, blind, intelligent, and dangerous Pokemon who live in caves and swim through the air with telekinetic power. Occasionally, one is born with vision, but with no psychic powers and very low intelligence. I love this description because that essentially writes up the backstory of Quagsire. So almost as if this was the original Hisuian version of Wooper and Quagsire. And then if a Quagsire is born with sight, it becomes the dummy that Quagsire is, the one that we know and love. I love this concept. So you all saw Hisuian Growlithe and how adorable that thing is. What about Hisuian Vulpix? Could we see Vulpix get a Hisuian form? It already got an Alolan variant as an ice type evolving into ice and fairy type, but what if, I don't know, this art is adorable. I like the all white coat. I'm not exactly sure what the real world inspiration is of this art, but I thought it was worth mentioning. A ton of people online are creating their interpretation of what they would want from a Hisuian Arcanine, or maybe a different Pokemon that Growlithe evolves into that's not Arcanine. And I saw this one, I just wanted to showcase it here because it is cute, and maybe we get to see another Hisuian Ninetales or whatever that could evolve into. Snorlax is the OG bear. In a ton of these trailers for Pokemon Legends Arceus, you see Ursaring, which looks like a ton of fun to play with. And Ursaring is a normal type. What if there was a Snorlax roaming the Hisui region and it had a different typing? This artist depicts the Snorlax with a fire type. I love this ability that it's given. The ability is called Sunburn, and what this does is contact moves made by the opponents result in the opponent's suffering the burn status. I really like this. Burn is a great tactic. I love using Will-O-Wisp, and this Snorlax design is adorable. Something else we could possibly see in such a cold region, another concept for Snorlax that I'm kind of hoping we see is the snowman Snorlax that was seen in the anime. Who remembers the snowman Snorlax? So a concept that people have been talking about for a very long time now is original forms for fossil Pokemon. So in the Sinnoh region, there's two fossil Pokemon discovered. There's Bastiodon and Kranidos. Because of the nature of a fossil Pokemon, as they're resurrected, they are burdened with a rock type. This has always had my headcanon spinning about what this rock type is substituting. What type could these Pokemon have if they weren't burdened with a rock type? So Shieldon and Bastiodon are rock steel type. I could see Dragon Steel out of that, or actually they are herbivores. Maybe it's a grass type. Maybe you have a grass steel type Bastiodon. Something like that is what I would like to see. Then there's also Kranidos. That's just a rock type. Historically, it's one of the most powerful Pokemon in Generation 4. At the time, it had the highest attack power. It had the highest attack stat at I think around 160. What if that rock type is actually hiding a hidden dragon type? It's a physical, all-out physical dragon type with 165 attack. That sounds pretty dragon to me. Now, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but what is Growlithe going to evolve into? A lot of people have already begun mocking up what they think a Hisuian Arcanine is going to look like. You guys saw me on TikTok, giving props to some of these artists. They already had art designed and rendered with concepts and typings. There's been a lot more art since then. One of my favorite Hisuian Growlithe evolutions is this Pokemon called Garleon. It's categorized as the mythical Pokemon. Growlithe actually loses its fire rock type. It now is psychic rock type, and that's because of the jade elements in this design. So the Pokedex entry of Hisuian Growlithe really emphasizes the horn on its head. This artist went along and emphasized that even further. It now has a bright green jade horn, which I think is beautiful. It's got these sharp tusks that go out to the side. Apparently, the name Hisui, which is the region for the old Sinnoh of Pokemon Legends Arceus, the name Hisui translates to jade. Jade is a precious gem, closely tied with psychic and legendary powers. A lot of artists have decided to use this in their designs for Hisuian Arcanine, or whatever their new evolution is for Growlithe. Here's another one. You can see the green patterns are a little bit more thorough. You can see it on its tail, on its legs, on its belly, on its crest. And this one definitely looks more like an Arcanine as opposed to a separate evolution. This one is great. Its horn gets even longer, more rugged. It looks more like a sword as opposed to a horn. And I like the black flowing stone above its crest. In all of these, you don't even see Arcanine's eyeballs. Oh, so here's one where you do see Arcanine's eyes, and he's got that mean lion face. I guess he's not really mean. He just looks stoic. He looks a little goofy, I'll be honest. But I like this one. He's a little bit more broad. Looks like he'd have a higher attack power, but slower. You'll see it has two tusks, which I like that, but no jade elements. This one is definitely an Arcanine. It looks like Arcanine. It's got a fireball collar, and the stone elements of its tail and its mane look a lot more flowy, almost as if like a ghost type. So I don't know how I feel about that, but another Pokemon that I think definitely will get a Hisuian form is Shellos and Gastrodon. This Pokemon was kind of significant. This Pokemon was kind of iconic in Sinnoh as it had two different forms depending on where you were able to catch this Pokemon in the region. And ever since Diamond and Pearl, there's been a detail stating that this Pokemon used to have a really hard shell. It says this Pokemon is currently soft body, but it used to have a hard shell. I haven't been able to find any art depicting a hard shell, but there is a lot of ancestral art for Gastrodon and Shellos. Here's some of my favorites. This one has really cool colors on it. I also like the shiny form. And yeah, it looks a little woozy. This thing looks like it would be poison dark type, or maybe dark water, something like that. I am so excited to play Pokemon Legends Arceus. Let me know in the comments which Pokemon you think should get a Hisuian form. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck hunting.